Okay, welcome everyone. We will get underway. Just a quick bit of housekeeping. This first portion is live content for Radio TV Online. The second portion will be for embargoed written word. So once this first portion is finished, there will be breakouts with player interviews after that. Okay, so we'll get underway with head coach Joe Schmidt announcing the team for the weekend.
Yeah, the team to start this weekend against Italy in Rome is 1, Ken Healy, 2, Rory Best, captain, 3, Tyke Furlong, 4, Donica Ryan, 5, Devon Toner, 6, CJ Stander, 7, Sean O'Brien, and 8, Jamie Heaslip. 9, Conor Murray, 10, Paddy Jackson, Simon Zebo, 11, and Keith Earls, 14 on the wings. 12 and 13 are Robbie Henshaw and Gary Ringrose respectively, and at 15 is Rob Carney. The replacements are Niall Scannell, Jack McGrath, John Ryan, Alton Delan and Josh van der Fleer, along with Kieran Marmion, Ian Keatley and Craig Gilroy.
Joe, what's thinking with swapping Keane and Jack?
It was probably something we'd planned to do anyway, just to rotate those two. Yeah, one plays 50, one plays 30, and vice versa, really. So they both get 80 minutes over the first 2 weekends, really. They both they bring similar things, but slightly different things. And you know, I think they both earned an opportunity to get a shot at starting.
What do you get when you get Duncan Ryan's back in the team?
Probably Donica is a pretty good line-out operator. He's a real technician in that area, and I suppose a tactician and technician. So he will add a bit of value at line-out time, and he's got a great work rate, Donica. So you know, those two things we feel we're going to need this weekend.
Is Ian Henderson injured, or what's the reason?
Yeah, he got a slight strain on Tuesday, which ruled him out of the equation. So he's got a slight hamstring strain. He won't be available this weekend, but potentially next weekend, and certainly the French weekend.
Andrew Trimble, he wasn't a training, Joe, is he all right?
Yeah, he's so close. But, you know, again, if you try to push someone back early, as has been seen with other players during the season, you take risk of causing further problems. So for Andrew, it's frustrating, but for us, you know, Simon and Keith get another opportunity to impress, and they're both very keen to avail of that. Yeah, again, we were always going to try to offer opportunity there. It wasn't really. Tommy was unlucky coming on. He had to deal with an overlap that we should have done better to shut down further in, and therefore overreached in the tackle, and you know, that was frustrating for him. He hit a great line at one stage, and Josh just took his space, and he just didn't quite get into the game. So Tommy will hopefully get a bit of time for Ulster this weekend, and that will better prepare him for the challenges that lie ahead. With Craig Gilroy, he toured South Africa with us. He's been working incredibly hard, and you know, as a result of that, we're keen to give him an opportunity.
Sergio Parise's in the Italy team. Are you surprised by that, Joe?
No, not really. If he's fit at all, he's such an iconic player for them. He's the hub of so much that they do, and had some incredibly positive involvements, particularly in that first half against Wales when they were ahead. So there's no surprise at all to see Sergio there. A 6-day turnaround is quite tight, particularly because he did look like he took a knock there at one stage, but you know, at the same time, I'm sure he's fully fit and ready to go, and incredibly motivated after last week, where they promised so much in the first half, only to really, and a little bit unluckily, let Wales get away from them in the end.
Have you been able to challenge the squad to make sure they get off to a better start this weekend, Joe?
Yeah, I have challenged them to do that. I think it's incredibly disappointing the way we started last weekend, and I don't think it was apathy. There was a bit of anxiety at not having had the full period to warm up, and players get anxious. They get very routine based, and I do think it's a challenge for a professional player that they can be adaptable and at different circumstances. that they can still cope and still start well. And we were really disappointed with the way we started. And I think, they scored 3 tries in that first 25 minutes. They didn't score another try after that. And I think that reflects what the team were capable of. But unfortunately, then you're chasing things. So we've certainly given them that challenge this week, and hopefully we see a better start.
Conor, what's the feel like to be playing catch-up now in the championship?
Yeah, frustrating. It would be easy to feel sorry for ourselves and be quite angry at each other, and there is a bit of that. That's naturally there, but we shook ourselves down really early in the week, and we got to respond really positively this weekend and do as best we can in Italy. Start much better, like Joe said. The start we made in Scotland was particularly disappointing, and what we did in the second half and towards the end of the first half showed what we can do as a team. So yeah, not ideal, but we've another challenge, and that's what we have to look forward to. Looking back isn't going to do us too much good.
How much did you put down to the delay of the disruption to your warm up? How it affected your either mentality or your start in general?
You can't put a percentage on it, but it was a little bit different to what we're used to, and it was another challenge, like Joe said. But we won't make that as an excuse. We still started the game poorly, and that's a reflection on us as players and what we did out there. We all had enough time to warm up, enough time to get ready for that time difference of arriving to the stadium and warm up starting a bit differently. But no, I wouldn't put that down to it. It was just us as a group of players. We prepared really well during the week. We just we started a lot slower than Scotland did, and they came out of the blocks, and not that it surprised us, but they shocked us a little bit, and we should have been ready for that, but we weren't. So that's something we've worked on during the week in training and off the pitch. We want to start really well this weekend.
Did you guys as players, never mind the coaches, pull yourselves to one side and go, we have to make sure that never happens again? Is there something like away from the training pitch where did you do that as a collective this week?
There's frustration from the coaching staff, from the players. We play in the team. We're angry at ourselves as well, and we all know that, and we want to put that right as a group. The coaches are going to offer us everything in terms of getting us ready for the game, but as a group of players, it's our team, and we want to put it right. We slipped up last weekend, and we want to keep ourselves in the frame for this championship, and that starts with a big performance this weekend.
So Conor, you kind of maybe owe the coaches one on that front.
Sorry?
Do you maybe owe the coaches one on that front?
If you want to look at it that way, we just look at ourselves and what we can do. And as personally and collectively as players, as a group of players, we were just disappointed in the way we performed, because we trained a lot better. We had hoped we prepared a lot better, and it just didn't happen for whatever reason. We're trying to find those answers, and we just want to, like I said, want to get it right this weekend and make sure we do.
Joe, will you be double, triple checking it with the Italian police the route this weekend?
No, look, I think that was just a one-off anomaly, and I think we're a lot more focused on what we can do performance-wise than some of those things that could potentially be distractions. And I think it's good to have to cope with some of those distractions sometimes, because in other tournaments and at other times you're going to have disruptions, and you're going to have to be able to cope with that and still perform. And I think that's a good challenge for us. And I also don't feel that we're playing catch up entirely. One of the great things about the championship is that as long as we can keep getting better, we can potentially stay in control of our own destiny. So we're not going to try to get too carried away and chase things that we don't feel we immediately have to. We're just going to try to stay focused on this immediate challenge and try to do the best we can.
Joe, with this Irish back row, is it important to give them a few games to kind of get into the swing? It's got great potential, but they need more game time together, I suppose, this current back row.
Yeah, I think that could be said with a few of the positions. I know that Gary and Robbie play together in provincial rugby and club rugby, but they're still getting to learn, and I think with those two linking up with Paddy, that again is not something that's happened a lot of times. So just guys getting their voice, getting their confidence, getting that trust in each other. There's one of the things about defending, for example, is if you haven't defended with someone a lot of times, you tend to think, is he going to go? Has he got him, or am I going to have to come in and take him? And as soon as you second guess yourself, the quality of the players that you're playing against, they'll buy you in a flash. So for us, to get that real certainty, you want the more time together that you can get and the best rhythm you can get. And while you try to replicate that in training, there's nothing like going out on the pitch and trying to cope. And so with a little bit of experience last week, and I really felt that Conor mentioned solutions. I think the solutions were evident post half-time. To come from 21-5 early in the game to lead 22-21, the biggest disappointment for me personally is not the start, it's the finish, and it's the finishing. You know, I think we had 9 line breaks, and I know that we scored our tries mostly on penalty advantages because it was very hard to get a line break and then to keep playing off it because they made it very difficult. But at the same time, I felt there were definite opportunities from set pieces close to the line, from overlaps that we created and balls went into touch on the full. You know, that for us is the unforgivable stuff that we know we've got to be better at.
Last one.
Yep.
Yeah, they both
Yep.
fit.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, guys, we will shut down the live broadcast part and switch into